Hello traders and investors. This is a Bitcoin technical analysis video. In yesterday's post I called for a correction, for a pullback in Bitcoin's price action, and this stirred up some controversy. In this video I would like to explain my opinion in detail. Not only that, I will do it as if I am assuming that the correction is over, that August 5th 49k was the low, and that we are in the initial phases of the final and fifth wave. If we go by that, then we have a primary wave 1, wave 2 ABC correction, wave 3, wave 4 correction, and if we assume that the correction was over on August 5th, then Bitcoin corrected in a WXY corrective pattern, and let's say that the correction was over and done with on August 5th. Okay, how do we proceed from August 5th? What's the issue? The issue is that there is a lot of overlap in this price action, and therefore we have to consider it a leading diagonal in wave 1 of 5. So from August 5th, we have a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, shorter than wave 1. It's possible in a leading diagonal. Wave 4 ended on October 10th. And now we are in the final stages of wave 5 of 1. Why is that? Because to estimate the wave 5 target, we pull a fib extension from the bottom of wave 1 to the top of wave 3 and to the bottom of wave 4, and the 0.618 is our ballpark figure, more or less. This is the ballpark figure for the correction, and it currently stands at almost 70k. It could be slightly below 70k or slightly above 70k, but this is where we are aiming. So even if we go by the most bullish assumption that this is a leading diagonal and that Bitcoin is completed or nearly completed 5 waves, we are, or we should, expect a retracement after it fulfills the wave 5 target, currently sitting at 69.7, more or less. Okay, so calling for a correction in Bitcoin's price action after it completed 5 waves in a leading diagonal is not that controversial, and it's not sci-fi, it's not wishful thinking, it's simple technical analysis. Couple that with the fact that Bitcoin is having a very difficult time breaking out of this downward sloping channel, and 69k, between 69k and 70k, which is 69k was the previous all-time high and it's a stiff resistance, I think it's reasonable to expect a correction in wave 2. Now that we have established that Bitcoin finished or nearly completed the 5th wave of the first wave, we need to find a target for the wave 2 correction. Now, the most common targets for a wave 2 correction is between the 0.5 retracement and the 0.618 retracement. So if we pull up a fib retracement, I already did that. Let me just show you. From the bottom of wave 4 to the top, to the supposed top of wave 5 at 69.7, more or less, the 0.5 sits at 59.3 and the 0.618 sits at 56.8. What other confluence do we have for this price reversal zone? We have a very nice demand zone, a daily demand zone. Let me fix it for you. Okay, let's say that the proximal line of this demand zone is at 59 and the distal line is at 57k. meaning that this demand zone is sitting right between the 0.618 and the zero point 0.5, which is a reasonable target, completely reasonable. It's not bullish, it's not bearish, it's typical. Now, it is very often that after a wave 1 to the upside, the wave 2 misses the 0.618 and falls even further, and the 0.786 is not out of the question, especially if we consider uh, some things that could happen either in the geopolitical arena because the situation in the Middle East is very unsettled, or in the US elections. I don't want to speculate about what could happen, but I know that it is a possibility. Okay, so if we consider all these factors, a retracement into this demand zone is completely not out of the question, and also it is possible for Bitcoin to miss the target and go below the 0.618 retracement, and Bitcoin will remain bullish and it could still go higher. However, not this time, not now. Now I'm calling for a retracement. Now, couple that with my time analysis, because if we go by the Bitcoin cycles that seem to be playing out very nicely, look at these cycle troughs and look how nicely they coincide with the Bitcoin lows. It tells you that, look here, the 20-week cycle is coinciding very nicely with the wave 4 correction, also with the 100-day or 96-day cycle. So if we go by that, this short cycle, the 60-day cycle, actually it's 64 days cycle, is already nearly complete. Why? Because we are already how many days into the cycle? 44 days into the cycle in a 64-day, meaning that we are in the latter third of the 64-day cycle. If we go by the 100-day cycle, I call it a 100-day cycle, but it's actually 96 days. We are also in the advanced stages, 76 days of a 96-day cycle, meaning that I am expecting Bitcoin from a time standpoint to begin a pullback, which will culminate at around, let's say, between November 8th and November 15th. Okay, so from a time analysis perspective and from even from a bullish counts perspective, this uptrend maybe it is over already or it's almost over. Maybe we have one more step to the upside to liquidate the early shorts, and then I am expecting a rejection and a move lower, uh, which will terminate between November 8 and November 15. Okay, so from a time cycle perspective and even from a bullish counts perspective, it is completely reasonable to expect Bitcoin to create a low or to begin pulling back, maybe even as early as next week. Now, what do we need for a short? For a short, we need confluence, we need momentum confluence and volume confluence on the daily time frame, because on the 4-hour time frame we already have bearish divergences. But what I would like to see is something like that. This here is a double bottom, okay? Because someone wrote to me yesterday that a double bottom is a retail myth. So for you, my dear friend, this is a double bottom. This double bottom was coupled with a bearish RSI divergence, and if I will see a double bottom and an RSI divergence, I will have absolutely no problem going short at resistance with the expectation of Bitcoin making it into this demand zone, and it is also a fib retracement area. Okay, so this is more or less what I meant by my opinion and why I called for a correction. Now that you see that I'm not bullish, I'm not bearish, I'm simply analytical and logical, I hope that you will find it easier to accept. If you have questions or if you think I'm wrong, please write it down in the comments. I'm open to criticism, I'm open to being wrong, but I will not tolerate open disrespect. I am sorry, I'm doing social media for fun, to grow together with a community, not to tolerate disrespectful people. Okay? Thank you very much for your time, and I will see you in the next video.